All right. It's 1 o'clock, so we can get started. Welcome everyone to the June 17th meeting of the Montachusett Metropolitan Planning Organization. I'm Derek Schuster and will be chairing today's meeting on behalf of Interim Secretary and CEO of MassDOT, Phil Eng. Brian, please call the roll.
Okay, so as I see them on my screen, Derek Schuster from Mass DOT,
Here.
Ian Sullivan from Mass DOT Highway Division,
Yes, here.
Liz Murphy, Fitchburg,
Here.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC,
Here.
Michael Yaboa, Mart,
Here.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2,
Here.
Logan Bree, Subregion 3, think you're muted, Logan, and Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Here, sorry
Here.
about
Okay, and I got you too, Logan. Thank you.
All right, and I'm not seeing any ex officio members from FHWA or FTA. We'll move on to the next agenda item, which is public comment. At this time, if there's any members of the public attending today's MPO meeting wishing to speak, please use the raise hand feature. Not seeing any raised hands. We're going to continue with the meeting, but if someone from the public does want to speak or have a question, just please use the raise hand feature and wait to be called on by the chair. Next item is approval of the May 21st, 2026 minutes. These minutes were shared in advance of today's MPO meeting, along with other materials. Could I please have a motion and second to approve the meeting minutes from May 21st?
So moved, Dan Sullivan.
Second, Liz Murphy.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do we have any comments or proposed revisions to the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing and hearing none. Brian, please call the roll.
Derek Schuster, Mass DOT,
Yes.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway,
Yes.
Liz Murphy, Fitchburg,
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC,
Yes.
Michael Yaboa, Mart,
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2,
Yes.
Logan Bree, Subregion 3,
Yes.
and Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next item on the agenda is Federal Fiscal Year 2026 to 2030 Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP. A review of any proposed amendments or adjustments. Do we have any this month, Brian?
We do not.
Okay. Then we will continue to the next agenda item, which is Federal Fiscal Year 2027 Unified Planning Work Program, or UPWP. Is this Sherry or Brian?
Me.
That's right. This will be.
Go ahead, Sherry.
All right, thank you. Brian, can you put up the comment table? There it is, perfect. So during the 21-day public comment period, we received one response from MassDOT last Friday. We broke down the comment table into 4 separate comments, and we also had a few minor typos or edits that were also addressed throughout the document. Number 1 is under accessibility. It said, please make sure to add bookmarks to the document and alternate text to figures and tables. We do run our documents through an accessibility checker, but bookmarks aren't something that usually comes up. But seeing the value of this, we went through the document and added numerous bookmarks and links throughout, as well as rerunning it through the accessibility checker, and then added alternate text to 2 tables that were missed in the draft. Number 2, adjust reference to Philip Eng from acting to interim secretary. We noticed that there was one location where it still stated acting, so that was changed to interim. Under section, let's see, number 3 is under sources section on page 20. Please include a quick summary of indirect costs. We updated the section of the document and broke it down so each funding category. So there's more detail, which now includes direct and indirect costs. And then comment 4, please break down the budgets by funding type. Our original tables had the FHWA and FTA funding merged together. So we separated them in overall budget as well as for each separate task throughout the document. That's all we have for comments this year. If anyone has any questions on those, they're pretty straightforward and they were relatively easy fixes.
Excellent. Any questions or further comment on the federal fiscal year 2027 Unified Planning Work Program? All right, seeing and hearing none, could we please have a motion and second to endorse the federal fiscal year 2027 Unified Planning Work Program?
So moved.
Thank you, Logan.
Second, Ann Sullivan.
Thank you, Ann. Motion's been made and seconded. Brian, please call the roll.
Derek Schuster, Mass DOT.
Yes, and good work.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Liz Murphy, Fitchburg.
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
Michael Yaboa, Mart.
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
Logan Bree, Subregion 3.
Yes.
And Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And
All right.
thanks to Sherry for taking the lead on this. And thanks everyone for following along with the updates throughout the last few months.
Everyone's got marching orders at Montachusett for the next year. Good job. All right. We'll move on to the next item, which is the MPO meeting schedule. Is this Brian?
Yes. So because we've taken care of our major items as far as official MPO business this year over the last 6 or 7 months or so, I will propose that tentatively returning to every other month schedule throughout the calendar year. This has been the practice in recent years, with the caveat that we hold a meeting in those off months if official business pops up, such as an amendment or something like that. So if we do go that route, we'd skip the July 15th meeting and meet next on August 19th. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Don't anticipate anything for July at this point. But again, I would reach out to members if something does pop up. And I'll still send out notices to the voting members at least on those off months, just to remind you, whether or not we have a meeting. So I guess that's just a heads up. I don't think something we need to vote on. If there's a consensus, if you'd like to do that again this year, or if not, that's fine too.
Do any of the board members have concerns with moving to every other month as Brian proposed? MassDOT, I don't think we're anticipating any further tip actions through the rest of the federal fiscal year, fortunately. Knocking on a wood surface right now. But we'll
Yeah,
try to
that's
keep
great.
that to a
That's
minimum.
I remember a few years ago there, we always had at least one amendment, and so that's great to hear.
All right. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's any questions from the board, so that schedule works for us. Less is good.
Okay, great. So we'll just call it tentatively every other month through the end of the year, and we'll make sure we have some relevant items ready on those months that we do have meetings. And by the time December rolls around, we'll be ready for this next tip process and UPWP process and the RTP as well, which is a major thing next year. So thank you.
Brian, is the first month anticipated to be August to meet with July off, or July with August off?
Right, I propose July off and then meet August. In this case, it would be August 19th.
Okay. Sounds good. Next item is standing updates. Let's start with District 2. Daryl?
Sure. Good afternoon. So first we have in 2028, we have project 612151. This is the Athol Bridge replacement, Route 2A, Main Street over the G&W Railroad. This is at 25%. The design submission was received back in March. Review period closed on April 15th, and a 25% partial resubmission. Design justification and sketch plans were received on June 2nd, and it's under review currently, and comments are due. Period closes on the 23rd, so we're waiting for that. Next, we have project 613141. This is the Athol Orange Bridge replacement, Logan Road over the East Branch of the Tully River. This is a pre-25% type selection worksheet. Was received in April. Review comment period closed on May 21st. And a 25% design submission was due on June 8th, and we're waiting schedule updates on that from the project manager. Next, we have project 608415. This is Athol intersection improvements at Route 2A and Brookside Road. This is at 25%. Virtual design public hearing was held on March 24th, and the 75% submission is due on September 8th. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Daryl. Are there any questions for District 2? Not seeing any. We'll move on to MassDOT District 3. Ann?
Yep. So we have Harvard resurfacing and box widening on Air Road, 609213. That is at PS&E, working on the right of way for that project. Harvard Lancaster bridge replacement project, Jackson Road over Nashua River. That was actually amended onto FY27, but that the 100% for that are due any day. Fitchburg improvements at Memorial Middle School, 612895. The 75% are due on July 8th on that one. And then the last 2026 funding is an advanced construction funding for Fitchburg Twin City Rail Trail, which is under construction and starting to make some progress.
Thanks, Ann. Are there any questions for District 3? All right, we'll move on to updates from Mart. Michael?
Thanks, Derek. So I'm meeting some of you guys the second time today. Matt, you have a lot of interesting activities going on here, but I will give some updates on certain topics, such as our subscription service will come July 1st in preparation towards the next fiscal year. We have a service known as a subscription service for Fishbeck, Leominster, and Gardner area, which used to take people to work, but based on financial constraints towards the next fiscal year, we'll be promoting service for riders to use our fixed routes. So that service will be discontinued, and also would give opportunities to have more reliable service to our ADA clients, since this category falls for demand response services. So this will give the drivers more opportunity to provide reliable service to our ADA clients. And so based on that, on July 1st, our subscription service will be discontinued. And this morning between 9 and 11 a.m., we met with our various cities to discuss bus stops placement within our region. And we went through a workshop exercise, and we came about placing these stops, and we identified real life challenges in placing bus stops within areas, and how when pedestrian friendly our roads are, makes it easy for transit to operate within the region. So we went through this exercise, and it was interesting, and we had multiple viewpoints on how we could help our region to have a great transit system. And thank you everyone for participating, especially the cities of Fishbeck, Leominster, Gardner, Athol, and also the MRPC representing for this event. And next, we held a public meeting on June 9th for our various routes in Gardner and Athol. And these were 9 routes, and currently is still open for public comments until on the 23rd of June. So far, these are the 3 updates from Matt. Any questions?
Thank you, Michael. Are there any questions for Mart on those updates? I just have one question. Is the change in service for ADA something that needs to be reflected or is reflected in the coordinated human services transit plan?
Um, I'm not sure. For ADA service, we are not changing the ADA service. We have a service called subscription service, and that service is for regular users, not ADA clients, which used to take them to their various workplaces. So that service would be discontinued so that we would have these drivers doing this service to be available to provide more ADA service. So ADA,
Okay.
we are not touching our ADA service for now. It will operate normally, but for the subscription service, which we used to have, and we didn't even have any category of group. Anybody could have access for that particular service. That is being discontinued and it's being whilst discontinuing, we are extending service on one of our routes, Route 3, to add up for riders who will be missing some morning trips for their work trips. And also our route changes in Gardner is accommodating for ride workers within Gardner who come to Fitchburg for work.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't concerned so much with Mark performing the service. That's great to hear. I just wanted to make sure that the planning documents that the region is the keeper of and coordinates with MART and other potential community transit grant recipients and other 5310 funded programs, that there's just consistency with the activities that
Okay.
MART's doing in case any of that service is funded by that grant program
Okay.
now or into the future.
I will circle with you after this meeting to see if everything is concise and on track.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
You're welcome.
Not seeing any other questions, so we can move on to updates from Montachusett Joint Transportation Committee.
Okay, the MJTC met last week. They went over the UPWP. We didn't have the comments at that point, but they did recommend endorsing. They are also opting for another an every other month schedule through the end of the year. As these MPO documents widen down, they've been reviewing these along with the MPO. So we'll be providing that group. We'll be shifting gears a little bit and trying to come up with some relevant presentations that may be helpful to our communities. So looking for topics. We'll also be staff will be presenting some of the more region-wide projects that we've been working on, including our upcoming regional transportation planning efforts. Nothing set in stone yet, but we're likely looking to get together a group that meets and focuses solely on the RTP. So we'll have some deep discussions with the JTC when the time comes for that. The RTP we anticipate finishing in the spring of 2028. So we're kind of approaching the fiscal year where we really dive into that. You saw a lot of that mentioned in our work program. Next JTC meeting is August 11th at 2:30.
Thanks, Brian. Are there any questions from the board for Montachusett JTC? All right. We can move on to Montachusett Regional Planning Commission updates. Is this Glenn?
Yes. Hi, Mr. Chair. Hi, all. Very quickly, MRPC passed its budget early June. The planning commissioners adopted a budget. It's looking fairly good. I'm going to provide a written report to the MPO in August. And as a part of that, I had reported a couple of times the last meeting or two on a non-budget related topic. We advertised and have hired a new person for the Planning and Development Department. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up that fiscal picture for the agency looks fairly good. Just want to give you, we're expecting awards on about over $800,000 in grants, and MassDOT pulled in another transportation from MRPC pulled in another grant. But let's write it all up and give you a written document in August. Thanks for your time, all.
Thank you, Glenn. Any questions? Oh, go ahead,
I
Brian.
can just add a little bit to that. As it relates to transportation, we did submit another Safe Streets for All safety action grant to Federal Highway Administration. In this case, we did it to conduct a number of um, road safety audits throughout the region. So thank you to all of you that provided us letters of support for that. I think we'll probably hear back in the fall, and they are continuing the program under the new legislation. So that's good news as well. So, you know, you still have an opportunity to apply for projects under that program going forward into the future. So good news there.
Any questions from the board for MRPC? All right. I think that's it for updates. We'll move on to administrative matters. Before we talk next MPO meeting again, were there any updates or administrative matters from the board? No. Okay. And it looks like August 19th at 1 p.m. is the tentative anticipated next MPO meeting. Brian, can you send a formal cancellation notice a week or two ahead of the July meeting, just in case there is any action items that come up?
Sure, I will. And what we have done with these meetings is, you know, the way we have it set up is we send the meeting link out, you gotta register, and then you get the link. So I don't believe it's in anyone's calendars, but I will send out a notice in July, and if we skip any other month, I'll send a notice the week of just to remind people that we won't have a meeting that week.
Great, thank you. If there's no other business, could I please have a motion and second to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Anne. Any objections? Seeing and hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Everyone enjoy your summer, and see you when we see you. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.